The Lake County Area Planning Council is updating the Lake County Transit Development Plan. A Transit Development Plan, or TDP, is a 5-year business plan for the Lake Transit Authority. This slideshow presents key findings to date and outlines recommendations for potential changes to Lake Transit. Our study started by reviewing the demographics of Lake County. We then conducted public outreach through surveys and by attending the Lake County Fair. Next, we completed a detailed evaluation of Lake Transit, or LTA, operations, including looking at the cost effectiveness and productivity of the entire system as well as by route. With a clear understanding of the existing conditions, we then developed service alternatives that would change the existing public transit services to address the requests we received during public outreach and to make transit services more cost efficient. This presentation discusses the alternatives that were developed and are now being recommended for adoption. Fixed routes provided by Lake Transit are shown on this slide. Lake Transit provides local, regional, and inter-county services. Route 8 provides local service in Lakeport, and routes 10, 11, and 12 provide local service in Clear Lake. Route 1 provides intercity service between Lakeport and Clear Lake along the North Shore, and Route 4 provides intercity service between the same two cities along the South Shore. Routes 2 and 4A provide service to more rural areas of Lake County. Route 3 provides service to Napa County, and Route 7 provides service to Mendocino County. Lake Transit also provides paratransit services, or dial-a-ride, in Clear Lake and Lakeport. As seen on this slide, all of the Lake Transit services lost ridership, or boardings, due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Ridership began recovering during fiscal year 2021-2022 as COVID restrictions lifted. Routes 1 and 10 were the best performing routes in terms of ridership in fiscal year 2021-2022. Routes 2, 4A, and 12 carried the least passengers. However, this is in part because all 3 of these routes were temporarily suspended during the pandemic. Now, let's discuss the study team's recommendations to address requests received during public outreach and to improve Lake Transit services. Route 12 is one of 3 fixed routes in the city of Clear Lake. The first recommendation is to shift the Route 12 schedule in Clear Lake. The route would remain the same, but stops would be served at different times. The reason for this schedule shift would be to space out arrival times of all the buses serving Clear Lake so that passengers will not have to wait as long for a bus in downtown Clear Lake. This recommendation would not cost the transit agency any more money, and we think ridership would increase by 1,080 passenger trips per year. Route 2 travels along State Route 175 between Kitts Corner and Middletown, serving rural communities such as Cobb. Route 2 is expensive to operate on a per-trip basis compared to other LTA routes. In fiscal year 2021-2022, it cost LTA $125.07 for each passenger trip. This is more than 5 times what it cost per passenger trip across the LTA system as a whole. In order to help LTA be more cost efficient and provide a good use of taxpayer funds, the study team is recommending reducing service on Route 2 from 5 to 3 days per week. This would improve the cost efficiency, but still allow for a small level of public transit in the communities along State Route 175. This change would result in annual cost savings of $29,700 for LTA, but also 600 less passenger trips per year. Route 8 serves Lakeport and the Konocti Vista Casino on hourly headways. Our recommendation is to replace this fixed route service with an on-demand microtransit service, which would be similar to Uber. Microtransit has the potential to serve more passengers directly by providing curb-to-curb service, eliminating the need for passengers to have to walk to a bus stop. This service would be available from 7:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. for passengers within the specified microtransit zone. Passengers would schedule rides either by calling dispatch or by using a mobile phone application. Rides would be provided within 1/2 hour of the request. Advance reservations would not be required. All costs considered, we estimate that replacing Route 8 with a new microtransit service would result in cost savings of $38,800 annually and a small increase in ridership of 290 passenger trips. This service would not replace the Lakeport Dial-A-Ride. This slide shows the proposed Lakeport microtransit zone in purple. If you are located outside of this zone, microtransit could not pick you up, but if you are located within this zone, microtransit could pick you up and take you to anywhere within the purple zone. As seen in this figure, the zone would cover all of the stops currently served by Route 8. Passengers from routes 1, 4, 4A, and 7 would be able to transfer to the microtransit service and vice versa. Route 4A serves the communities along Soda Bay Road and is very expensive to operate on a per passenger trip basis. In fiscal year 2021-2022, each passenger trip on Route 4A cost Lake Transit $92.34. As part of this recommendation, we propose eliminating Route 4A and replacing it with on-demand microtransit service, which would be called the South Clear Lake Microtransit Zone. So that this recommendation is cost-effective, we propose that the new on-demand microtransit service operate 3 days per week between the hours of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Similar to the Lakeport microtransit service, passengers would schedule rides either by calling dispatch or by using a mobile phone application. We anticipate that this alternative will increase ridership by over 1,000 trips per year, as it would directly serve homes in Clear Lake Riviera. We estimate, considering all costs, including new technology, that this alternative would result in a small increase to operating costs of $4,600 annually. This slide shows the proposed South Clear Lake microtransit zone in orange. As seen in this figure, the zone would cover the Clear Lake Riviera and areas south of State Route 29. Passengers would be able to schedule a ride to Kitt's Corner to transfer to Route 4 if they needed to get somewhere beyond the South Clear Lake microtransit zone. In order to provide rides within 1/2 hour of the request, the South Clear Lake microtransit zone does not cover the entire area served by Route 4A. However, it does cover the most populated area, which is not already being served by another route or service. The study team analyzed a variety of other options for the Lake County Transit Development Plan, as shown on this slide. These alternatives were not found to meet Lake Transit's operating or financial performance standards, and therefore were not recommended for inclusion in the draft Transit Development Plan. Overall, implementing the recommended changes discussed in this presentation would result in Lake Transit saving $53,150 in operating costs for fiscal year 2023-2024. Ridership would be expected to increase by just under 2,000 passenger trips. The plan would bring new forms of public transit to Lake County that provide more direct service for residents. The efficiency of Lake Transit operations would improve. Next steps in the process of completing the Lake County Transit Development Plan are outlined on this slide. This month, we are collecting input from the public on the recommendations presented in this video. We will then consider all input collected before finalizing which alternatives are included in the draft plan. The draft Transit Development Plan will be available in March and presented to the Lake Transit and Lake Area Planning Council boards in April. It is anticipated that a final transit development plan will be adopted by the Lake Transit Board in May. Please take the survey linked on this slide to provide your opinions on the potential changes to Lake Transit discussed in this presentation. If you have any questions or comments on what you learned about today, please reach out to Clara Hutchinson of LSC Transportation Consultants, Inc. at the contact information listed on this slide. All comments received on the proposed transit plan recommendations will be carefully considered and used to help shape the draft plan. Thank you for listening to our presentation on the Lake County Transit Development Plan. We hope you have a great day.